Hey, quick look through Thursday's end of day closing screens. A little bit of a day of two halves today, wasn't it? Soft through the zombie session, and as soon as the US came online, the market lit up. So, cheers, James. Sound and vision. Let's buzz through these. I know it's overkill doing this every day, but the leaders are relentless, aren't they? Even the Russells toying with this level today. Look at that. Amazing. DAX working on a swing day. FTSE 100 just inside day there. Two inside days on the chart, isn't it? Just got that little ledge there now on the mean trend. We've got a little ledge on the 250. Small caps melting higher today. AIM all share. Obviously, I'm extremely bullish on our markets, but the US markets just haven't corrected, have they? They've just, I mean, some have, but the leading markets haven't. And we're in pullback. We haven't started trending on any of these small cap markets yet. Look, we're down on the lows. This is the reality. We haven't traded a 52-week high in small caps in 1, 2, 3, about 4 years, getting on for 4 years. That's we've been trading against. That's in the AIM market there. That's what we've been trading against. In a market, when small caps go in trend mode, this game is extremely easy. When stocks are traded, very forgiving. Every man and his dog's an expert, aren't they? But it's the, we've been trading against the market, and obviously gold is in an uptrend, and we've that's been our sort of bread and butter for the last year, hasn't it, really? And a few other stocks are trending nicely as well. But it's hard not to be. It's hard for me not to be bullish. It doesn't mean there's not pain coming ahead before the next bull market, but to state the obvious, we haven't missed a bull market. It's basically what I'm saying. In small caps, look, that's it. No 52-week high has been traded. We haven't missed anything in small caps. I know it's a little bit of a different story in large caps, isn't it? They've melted higher. The good thing about most of us is our pensions are all loaded in that kind of area as well. So it's been an extremely good period for anyone who dollar cost averages their pension. But treading water a little bit in the trends at the moment. But we've got some pretty huge trends in the portfolios. So let's buzz through these again, see what's in there. I'll just quickly have a look at gold. Having a bit of a breather at the moment, back and fill, pull back, whatever. This is a massive breakout here, and normal back and fill. Yeah, the old classic, lower interest rates, and literally the next day the bond markets just took that out of the equation already. So a little bit of dollar strength today as well, working against the metals. Let's just buzz through these. Hit the pro gaps. No forward on anything apart from this one, which is negative forward numbers. into the closing highs. I've written down 68 today, so I wonder if that's the longest time. You know, when did we have a longer period with small caps not trading? You know, 4 years plus small caps not trading a 52-week high. I wonder how long ago that was. Lots of investment trusts to get today. Construction, BT, SRCs. Just, you know, we don't know whether it's going to be a base or a higher high here for the bull. You know, the bullish. Curse it's saying that. I don't know. 126.2. For the bullish case, you know, if it coils up and then explodes higher, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? For the construction sector, these were extremely early entries, extremely early. So, you know, a Halmer as well, you know, rode this run, bought it back again. I'm riding this run. I bought it back on the family account, this one, and I put it in trend mode. I sat through this because I put my old classic bracket on, and you know, I trail that heat out as it went. It shouldn't really go back below here. You know, I'll just leave it on the trailing stop, I think. Theme out there, I've got nothing on that one. One of the, I mean, Oilers not having a great time, are they? It's just interesting to have a look at that one. Let's fly through the rest of these. CNC there, obviously higher high, just bumbling around that area there. It's had a straight line move up there. Straight line move. The baton was passed to, you know, the momentum end of the market. You know, it's nice if it did just trend off into the distance, but the good thing is if you expect back and fill, that's the worst case, you know. Everything else is a better case scenario, isn't it? Into the swing points. What did we write on the list last night? Obviously, VLX was the obvious one, wasn't it? Trend lane, I wrote VLX and Elco. And did we have ADM on again, didn't we, on the swing? We talked about that, didn't we? So I'll go through those again and just have a quick look. Senior. Fly through these investment trusts into construction, body coat, Epwin. XRT Marine there, swing day on that one. This one's expected to post growth. It's a big tick up in the turnover. I think I say the same thing every time. Go and have a look why. But stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, we kind of don't want to be chasing later stage bases. If you are, well, when I do, I'm going to be very nimble. Keep going. Let's buzz through these. Over there. Experience. Financials are just loaded today, aren't they? There's loads of them. A few oilers there. Just buzz through these fast and then I'll quickly have a look at the end of the day. Platinum. Right, I'll quickly look at the end of day. Been busy today in the background, been out to down to my mother's and doing a few other things. Turn long, CCL, swing point CCL, moving on for me, that one. CPL, moving on. IWG, see if anything jumps out at me. Nope. Boot. Yeah, choppy. Nothing in there. So, what I thought I'd do is just go through in order of what I talked about last night. And just to repeat, I always, one good idea we kind of say, don't we? Let's just see what the best of what's in the screens. There is nothing tonight. Yesterday, VLX was the one what jumped out, and let's just go back to this one. VLX. So mid-cap high float stock, AIM 50. Have a look at how it trades. It's usually a little bit of a choppy one. Does it fit the way I trade? Well, it's had its moments. It's not the easiest, is it? Year on year, 18 months is the average for an outlying trend, and this thing on its big runs has done 100%, 200, I suppose. So you'd probably put it in the rotating R category a little bit more, but you never say never, Never say never, but let's just go on to the intraday today. So this was what triggered the swing day. This is just the bid-ask spread. And this is your previous day's high, around there. And this is, notice how the spread tightens as the minutes go on. So I'll just bring this in a bit more so you can see. Look how wide the spread is here. and then, you know, this is usual with small cap stocks. And then as soon as this spread comes in, you've got like 15-20 minutes to get this trade on, if you want to get it on within the previous day's high. I mean, that would be that's the ideal way of doing it, really. And even when it spikes up a bit, I think that the thing with this stuff is don't try and be too clever with it. Just, if you want to hold this for a trend and it turns into the mother of all trends, you're never going to look back on the entry and go, oh, I could have bought that, 5 pence cheaper or something. You're never going to do that. So, it's good to just look at the spread. I don't need the bars on. If I'm entering on this day, you don't need to see any bars, and you don't need to see any magic candlestick patterns or, any of that nonsense. You just need to see the spread, watch it tighten up. You could do it in a visual way as well if you wanted. You could bang up level 2 if you wanted and do it on a visual way. But what's the point? We've got this, and it does a perfect job. And that's just how I look at these things. So I don't get too, if you're trying to trade that as a swing, it's a choppy, thin trading stock. It's an AIM 50. It's not a swing stock, but you could, it's borderline, isn't it? You could still get it on and do it. It's doable, but it's not going to be like a really liquid stock trades, is it? So, this is one of those ones where it's a mid cap high float and it trades choppy. It can, it's teetering on the edge of both camps is what I'd say. And expecting it to be the mother of all outliers is a little bit of a long shot. When you're looking at a stock, what's £3.50 or whatever. That sweet spot is always going to be sub £2, I would say. Sub £1.50, even better. That sweet spot for big trends. It just is what it is. It's, if you look at a lot of the big trends, that's where they kind of group, I would say. So yeah, just a few thoughts on that. Elko, no brainer that if you're interested in Elko. Now Elko, stage 1, stage 2, higher high, stage 3, broke trend for my style. Went straight back to highs and it's in pullback, and it did a swing point here and it's still just pulling back. So let's just go back to Elko here. It broke trend and it's trying to be the one what we start counting again. So let's have a look at this one. If I approach this stock, and I am watching this stock, if I approach this stock, I could have bought it there like that. Just putting a third measure move target. I haven't got the log scale on actually. Let me just, sorry, the linear chart. Be something like that. And really, I'd want my stop under this low here. And that's 52-week lows all day long. So, if this does a swing point tomorrow and does something like that, I could look at that and go, that's fair game for me. And to be honest, it's, I don't know what the spread is on this, but you know what I'm saying. Back below here, it's just broken and choppy and going sideways at best, isn't it? It might be going down again, but the way I approach these things is, if I'm going in for a trend, and this is going to be a trend lane stock all day long, I'd be going. Let me just put this. Is it CO? Yeah. and it's got some gas in the tank. You know, I'm not seeing red flags. It's got gas in the tank. It's quite, you know, it's not pedestrian, is it? It's got growth. You get this a lot after an earnings breakout and a profit breakout. You get this year of deceleration in the numbers, and that's basically what we've got here, isn't it? From here, it did this move on the past numbers on a good year, and it starts to Paul says it's got like a 2.5 to 4p spread, and that's the resting spread, isn't it? So so 79, 41. Let's go 45. That's the way I would approach it. You know what I mean? So I could put half a position on there, or any increment. I could put a full position on if I wanted, but if I had lots of conviction on this day, if there was lots of volume, and I thought, it's worth just putting. But I could put half a position on, and I could get my full position here. Trail, build up to a full position. Shouldn't go, if it goes back above this white line, it should not go below a low what's putting round here. If it just rolls down and stop me out, it would be a paper cut. So first things first, I'm just trying to do something tonight how I would approach it. I have absolutely no clue where this stock is going, where any stocks are going, and nor does anyone else. Period. We approach the markets, anyone who says they know a stock's going somewhere because this, because that, anything can happen. It's just hearsay. The only thing what makes money in the markets is you got to risk money to make money, and you got to hang on to your winners, haven't you? And you've got to exit your losers, small losers. So I'm showing you how I could have a small loser on this. I have no clue how big the winner could be, but I know how small the loser could be, give or take slippage. So that's the way I would approach it. If I was risking, it was 100,000 account, and I was risking 1%, I could have 0.5% there, and then trail and add back up to a 0.5% there if I wanted to, or I could have 1% there and build back up to. It's about getting my weight in. Sometimes I punch them in a couple of times as well, because I go, that bracket's quite wide. I might not get a very good weighting if I do it that way. So I might go, I'll go 2/3. So that would be £660 risk to this low. And then, I'll build it up to a full position up here. I could go back, build it back up to a 660, and then I look at the weighting. It's about, at the end of the day, it's about trying to get, between 5 and 10% all day long, in and around the early entries. For me, it is anyway. And as you know, if you've got a 10% position, it goes up 300%. Happy days. It turbo boosts your portfolio, doesn't it? So I'll just quickly say, this thing could just fall like a hot knife through butter and go through the lows. At least you know where it's, just don't just buy for no reason. I think seeing a little bit of volume and a few block trades, and it just, good action is when you see, this is what you want to see. See this volume day here. I mean, it doesn't always happen like this, but narrow range day on higher volume means that the buy pressure is soaking up all the sell pressure. The baton is, there's a transfer from the sellers So the buyers are soaking up, you know, sometimes we say retail to smart money, don't we? And that's good to see. You don't always see it, as you can see here. You don't always see it, you know. Lots of distribution. A narrow range day with a lot of volume, it is good though, because it's, you know, it's soaking up that distribution. We try and find a bad move in this stock to sort of show what we're looking for in the last trend would be handy, wouldn't it? Let's have a look in this little area here. Yeah, you just, you know, we've got it here. You know, this is the distribution. It went sideways forever and a day with nothing. We got a higher volume day. You know, if you look at the prints, you'll see a lot of block trades going through, and it's soaking up that distribution. Here's another classic one here, isn't it? So that's a good thing to look for, especially in the small caps. You know, it's not. It's not a magic. Try and do it again. It's, you know, it's not foolproof, but distribution. Still got distribution, still closing down. Close up, close down. This is the swing day. Distribution. Look at this. More volume the next day. That's a very obvious soak. You know, this all the sell pressure was soaked up. And then it still went sideways forever and a day before popping higher. But yeah, that's what you want to look for. What was the other one? ADM. That's a bit of a... It was another one. It opened down again today, didn't it? And, you know, I swung trade this on my swing account. As you know what I do here. You know when I bought, you know when I sold. I sold up here, around here somewhere. Took profit. Family account, rode it through the ex-dividend. It's quite a big dividend actually on this one. And there's a special dividend in the mix there as well. 85 and 29p over £1. And the family account still owns this. Where's the family account wrong? If it comes down below this little base area here, I'd say the family account's wrong, and it'd just be a scratch trade. Might still be a winner actually. I could actually set it at break even quite easily, that one, couldn't I, with the dividend? But looking at, you know, that was the swing day. It opened down. This is the low. What's in play? Am I on the right time frame here? Yeah, I don't know. Now we got another swing day here, and it just opened down again. Let's go to the intraday again. Let's do it again. This was the open. Obviously, it's a liquid stock, really tight, and this is the opening range as well, and it just drifted off. Now, go back to the daily. We've got the drawings on. If you're going to buy here, that low there, it shouldn't go below there. If you bought this day here, it shouldn't go below here. That's the way I would look at that. Not great today taking out all these lows here. If it turned around tomorrow and did that, I think it would look better. But these later setups, this is the swing low. This is the real wrong area for the swing trade. This more aggressive one. Say you bought on weakness today. I would have put my stop there, would have stopped me out. So what about tomorrow? What happens if it trades through this level intraday? End of day, it throws another swing point, and then it gaps up, whatever, buy it. I would say that's a great low again. You know, how many nibbles do you want to have at the same stock? You know, it's going to be personal. I've already got this running in the family account. But as another swing trade, it doesn't look great, does it? It doesn't look great, but there's an ex-dividend in the mix there. But you know, it might look better tomorrow. So just some thoughts on that. You know, I know we talked about this level here yesterday. I think buying above there to there wouldn't give much reward to risk actually. But if you bought intraday today, I reckon it's a tiny paper cut. If you bought with this low in, you know, if you bought on this day with this low, or bought the move through that with this low, still in play, and it's still got good reward to risk. So, you know, as you know, I'm just waffling now, but again, we just don't know. We don't know. We have to risk money in the markets to make money, and the best way is to turn up every day and do what we do. We try and get one good idea, trend, swing, whatever. And I've just gone through what we talked about yesterday. The ones what, you know, Elko still coming in, VLX, you know, fired up, extremely strong. You know, 15 to 20 minute sort of window to sort of get that trade on, I would say, without chasing it. And Admiral, really easy to get these kind of trades on because they're really liquid in, isn't it? But whether you get chopped out or not on today's action, or whether you wait for something a little bit more concrete, yeah, you decide. So, not much to see in tonight's screen, but the US is going gangbusters, isn't it? Oh, there's just another one. I'll just put, is it okay? This is the one what everyone's talking about in the US at the moment. And it's electricity, isn't it? So it's basically, it's talking about power grid and all that stuff. And just before I get a question on this stock, why is this not in the GTO? It's loss making. It's got no, you know, it's basically got no turnover by the share scope's got zeros. So I have absolutely no clue. But obviously these with the AI, these electricity stocks, and you know, I'm just guessing that that's what this is now. You know, anyone who's looked into this, but you know, this is basically what we just call a CTP, and calculated total punt, and it's just this can't even get it out. The story stock at the moment. That's the best way. People will be drawing stuff like this, won't they? And going, ah, it's so obvious, you know. It's but yeah, I'll leave it there. Cheers all.